Today we're going to be talking about AMD Ryzen, we're going to be talking about Intel's X299 platforms, we're going to be talking about Volta, which is Nvidia's new GPUs when it comes out. We're going to also be talking about Superposition, which is by Unigine, a software that is capable of making your graphics card or any of your graphics cards cry. So I put in and I used a GTX 1050 Ti and a GTX 1060, which is where you should get frame rates between 50 frames to 55 to about 60 to 70 frames per second, playing the most demanding games at 1080p, full 1080p. Now, when I put it in ultra mode and everything on high, I got around 11 to 15 frames per second off these graphics cards. Now I was like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? What the hell is going on here? So I've left it for a few days and I've gone back and seen who else has done some reviews on these graphics cards. Now, Unigine done a benchmark with 8K at 60 frames per second, and I was like, 8K? 8K? Wow, okay. At 60 frames per second, and then I saw someone else do 4 GTX Titans on 8K, and they were getting around 103 frames per second, maximum frame rates per second, and then a minimum of like, what was it, 40 frames per second? I saw someone do a 1080 Ti, and that was a single GPU, and they got around 45 frames per second maximum. I was like, what kind of software is this? Or are we being mugged off somewhere where it's getting to the point where we thought graphics cards were hitting them frame rates per second? This is new, like GPUs of 2017, and this software was pushing the graphics cards at such a low like frequency. 1080p is just the norm now. Like 2K and 4K is kind of what people know, but 8K, wow, that's going to be expensive, and going to be very expensive in trying to compress that into like video format anyway. Even if you've got a camera that can push 8K, it's going to be, the bit rate and everything like it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be doing like 1 gig every 30 seconds or something like that. It's going to be ridiculous. But anyway, let's talk about Volta. So Volta's coming out in late 2017, 2018, and they got Vega coming out very shortly, like within what we're in April. This month, or probably next month, or the month after that. And I seen some rumours about that the graphics card is like 35% more powerful than what the other graphics cards were, which is the RX range. Now, if it's only 35% difference, obviously AMD are really like kicking everyone's ass with obviously putting price performance. So basically, like Intel have got like a CPU which is £1,000, and then you got Ryzen CPU, which is the 18X chip, and basically that's half the price, but it's slightly faster. Now the graphics cards are coming out and meant to be proper fast, but they're not going to be as fast as Volta. But we don't know that until when obviously the stuff's here. Now I'm just a bit scared to know that I've had like graphics cards of new generation, and this software could annihilate it. Makes your graphics cards, makes your system cry. And then you've got your older school graphics cards like the GTX 970 and 980 and 980 Ti, and even the new graphics cards like the 1050, the 1050 Ti, the 1060, the 1070, the 1080 and the 1080 Ti, and the new Titan. And you're like, okay, where do we go here? Like, this software is absolutely muddering everything. And I've heard people saying about, when it comes down to graphics that is pushed so hard that the games look realistic, when are we going to see that in Battlefield 1, not Battlefield 1, but the new Battlefields, the new Call of Duties, the new Street Fighters, do you know what I mean? The new game textures. And I don't know, I really don't know. I'm just like, is developers holding back? Do they know something that we don't know? Are they holding on to the console wars of like being I don't know, consoles seem to be very easy. You get a console, it's got the graphics and the CPU and all the cooling and the motherboard and the chassis all built into one. Connect the controllers in, do a couple of updates, and then you're on your way. And then you pay for your like little tariff every month if you want to play online. And then you've got like a PC where you can do your own customization and play it online for free and try out the new demos and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know if it's proper cross-platform or what, but it just seems weird that we hold on to like dual-core and quad-core. Now, AMD has brought out quad-core, they've brought out dual-core, obviously. They've brought out 6-core, they've brought out 8 got-to-core. They've been bringing out so many things and it can run at so many threads. And they've still got their server threads to come out, server CPU processing power to come out. And it's like, what is going on? Like, is there going to be games that are going to be optimized for quad-core and 6-core and octa-core, and we're going to get them sort of graphics that we see in Superposition? Because if we are, this is going to be absolutely amazing for half the cost, rather than paying a premium like you do for your Intel and Nvidia. Now, I like that the red team have come in and just slashed prices, and you're getting more performance for your dollars. It's really quite crazy. But it just shows that if there was no one that was coming in to have a CPU that's going to be a competitor against Intel and Nvidia, then we'll be still paying a premium for hardly anything, and we'll always be stuck in the dark. But it seems like AMD want to push forward. Now, I can't wait to see this, but I'm so scared that even a 1080 Ti and a Titan, I just don't get it. It's like, where are we going? It's like the performance of 1080 Ti so a 1080 Ti is like 750 to 800 pound, and then you've got a Titan which is what is it? It's like 1200 to 1250 pound. It's like a 500 pound difference, and yet like there's only 7.5% difference in frame rates per second. It's ridiculous. If there's like a big boost, like say that you've got frame rates that you can do 100 frame rates per second on Superposition, yeah, in 1080p rather than 1080p, and you've got everything on extreme or a little bit higher resolution than normal, everything's pushed in 1080p, and then you get to the point where you think, oh, my 1080p, my 1080 Ti is going to be able to push like 100 frames per second at least on this benchmark, but it's only pushing under 50 frames per second at maximum frames. Ooh, that's mad. And then obviously you got the Titan, which is 7.5%, just a little bit different. I'm thinking, are we getting mugged off with the price here? Anyway, then you got Intel's new X299 motherboards coming out, which is going to actually be supporting, I think, DDR5 and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just can't wait, but I just want to know what's going on. I just feel that, I don't know, I don't feel like the money that you pay for a graphics card is not doing what it should have done on the tin. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, there's not really more I can say about this video. I don't really want to put any more in there because it's speculation, it's rumours that you hear, and nothing's really out there yet. Like, obviously the Vega's out, but it's not out that the consumers or the enthusiasts can get. I like what AMD is doing. They're grabbing the graphics cards and they're giving it to the enthusiasts and getting it out there, because the enthusiasts will talk about it and do videos and blog about it and vlog, and yeah, and then they'll get it out there. They'll be the ones that recommend it. And then obviously the people that write and stuff and all that. But yeah, so we've got Vega coming out. That's going to be the first thing. We've got some more AMD CPUs coming out, and then we've got Volta coming out between 2017 and 2018, and then we've got Intel's new motherboards coming out, which is probably going to be around the end of the year, like January time, just like it was last time. And then we're going to have a new platform. But obviously it's going to be really expensive, or is it? Because that's the problem. AMD's come into it, and Intel are worried a little bit now. But I'm not a fanboy of anyone. I just like the fact that you got competition, because it keeps the price down. And what would you want to do? Would you want to spend loads of money on half the performance? Because I remember years ago, AMD used to kick Intel's butt when they had the Athlon CPUs. And basically, it was like Intel were only using around 50 to 75% of the CPU usage, whereas AMD was using it flat out and it was half the price. It's a no-brainer. But anyway, if you've got any comments, leave them down below. Tell me what you think is going to be happening. What's your speculation? What's your rumours? Or what you've heard? Leave it down in the comments down below. Share this video so other people can see it. Subscribe if you like this sort of content. Like the video if you definitely like this sort of video. And dislike it if you dislike it. And then it lets me know that you didn't like it, and I probably won't do this video again. Or video subjects like this again. But anyway, thanks a bunch for listening to me, because it's probably a bit of a long video. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.